The SML movie was something that was hyped up for literal years. When I say years, I mean even as far back as 2017. I mean, hell, 2016, just want to count him moving out of the apartment when he made that announcement. But I remember when I first got to SML around mid-2016, with me not knowing what SML was or what even Jeffy was. And if I'm gonna be honest, I thought Jeffy was a spin-off character of SML. I thought he was a character in the series that wasn't tied to the main one, but no. Anyway, with me becoming to know the evolution of the character, starting off as a horrible addition to the show with having severe mental deficiency, to a character who was so bad that even YouTube didn't want to be associated with the channel and got rid of Logan's paycheck, which doesn't really matter because he's making millions anyway, to a character who nowadays, I don't even know what he does. He's just so desensitized to everyone at this point, and he's just been way past established. That being said, with the addition of Jeffy's mom, a lady who abandoned Jeffy in the practically worst SML video I have ever seen because it's so out of character, which you can watch in the annotations, but holy shit, I did not like this video. And with Jeffy's mom being an addition to the show, with her wanting his inheritance, we'll get to that in a second. A good antagonist, I would say. I like the video more so of its dark tone, but I hate the video for so many reasons because, you know, Mario has been established, he does not like Jeffy at all. It's literally out of character for every character involved, like Mario and Jeffy especially. And overall, it doesn't really answer any questions about Jeffy. But I can't lie, Jeffy's mom was a good antagonist, and she had potential to reappear as an even scarier and even unlikable good character. And the trailer for the 2017 movie was born. And then it was carelessly tossed away into an abyss of Logan's 46,853 other broken promises. It was a demonetization period back then, but I honestly just blame Logan for this. His procrastination, him forgetting and breaking the promises of the old fans of releasing it, just for having his yes man control him, and saying it'll be out very soon, only to just stop altogether. I like how they even made a joke about it in 2020.
All right, here's the gold play button.
When's the SML movie coming out?
I mean, we're still working on it. Take your picture with the gold play button.
Oh,
but yeah, thanks for the 5.5 year hiatus, Logan. But I will say, you was doing better than Yandere Devs and Yandere Simulator, which almost 8 years in production, so that's a start. But at long last, the supposed SML movie, which is not really the SML movie, but it's called the SML movie, even though it's really just a birthday special. So let's review it and see if it's good. Spoilers, it's not. The movie is practically the sequel episode to Jeffy's Parents, the remake. As someone who hasn't seen it because I just assumed the remake is the exact same as the original, but they're just changing the jokes slightly, and spoiler alert, they are. I think it will be confusing to me and a few others, but I'm going to save that for another topic. The plot follows about the same as the movie trailer seen a few years back. It still follows the premise of Nancy kidnapping Mario for Jeffy's ransom. However, the only difference is, instead of Nancy kidnapping Mario intentionally, they kidnap him accidentally, which kind of makes this plot less tension-worthy. It's like the movie has such good premise, you know? However, this movie also strikes to me as just Jeffy's Parents too, because we also have some emotional moments that contradicts everything that happened in the show beforehand. But before we move on, I will say the movie does get dark in some areas. Mario getting kidnapped and the spoiler ending of the Transformers, explosion, the van blowing up. But that's all I can say about the plot for now, because it will combine with another element of the movie that, depending on you, it might separate the dark elements for the comedic ones. It might be funny to you, but it might also break the tension and be annoying to a lot of others. Okay, I'll admit, as practically everybody else has said before me, I did admire the bigger budget and cinematography of the movie. I mean, who can ignore the drone shots, the far out shots, and even though it was a mere zoom around the empty field, it was still an impressive use of camera work. Yes, out of everything in this movie, this is practically the one element I did enjoy. And my most favorite angle in the movie is the drone shot of the van driving away. Yes, Logan had upgraded his laziness with slightly less laziness. That's saying a lot, because as someone who has seen his channel all throughout the years, You really get to see the repetitiveness of his content and his camera work, and sometimes we'll get some impressive angles, but for the most of the time we'll get the same angles over and over again. I mean, look at this older video, there'll be a lot of unique camera shots all the time, and nowadays it's just this one point perspective of the characters talking over and over and over. But I will say, I think all the scenes in the third act of the movie stand out with the best camera work. Nothing more to say, but I did admire the upgrade production value of the movie. Again, the one element of the movie that actually aged pretty nicely. And now we have the characters. Nancy and Screwball are the antagonists of the video, and they really play off each other, I'm gonna be honest. Screwball taking the job seriously and at the same time constantly screwing things up. Nancy on the flip side is trying so hard to kidnap Mario. Nancy is memorable for her appearance and being Jeffy's mom, but the motivation was really annoying, I'm gonna say. What's really her motivation other than to kill Jeffy and take his money? But she just wants Jeffy's inheritance and that's it. And they didn't have to keep reminding us that's what she's after, because seriously, she appeared in 5 videos on the channel. 3 videos alone last year of still reminding us she wants his money. Meanwhile, Mario, Rosalina, and Jeffy are the main characters. Mario selfishly wanted to impress Jeffy for the money. Rosalina, I don't know, man. I know, I might as well just get my thoughts right here. I know it's like a slight detour, but I'm just gonna say it. I think Rosalina is my most hated SML character. I really hate how hypocritical she is, how uncaring she is for Mario. I hate how she will always accuse him of cheating. Meanwhile, she also is going around cheating. No offense to Elena, but I really hate Rosalina. She practically beat Jeffy in the most hated SML list, and that is fucking saying something. She could literally have a train with all of her ex-boyfriends and she will still find a way to be mad at Mario. We got that out the way. Well, now that we got that out the way, let's continue. And Jeffy was actually tolerable, I'm gonna say. The stars are fucking aligning, the pigs are learning how to fly, and I'm pretty sure I became a monkey's uncle, but holy shit! Jeffy being tolerable? And lastly, Brooklyn Guy and Simmons are the secondary characters who are pretty good in a few spots. Now, I would say some parts of the movie was very emotional with the characters until I remembered that Jeffy's parents existed. This is just Jeffy's parents too. They're pulling off this bullshit again when we already know Mario hates Jeffy. Jeffy does not appreciate Mario. Jeffy's gonna go back to doing the same shit the next episode, and spoiler alert, but he really dies. Next topic. When the comedy is funny, it's funny, but when the comedy is annoying, grating, or drags on for way too long, it really does. By far, the lowest points in the movie are the 3 scenes on the top of my head. There's the scene of Broken Guy showing Rosalina his new car, with him constantly cutting Rosalina off to show him. And this joke goes on for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And this is the part that could have easily been cut out. This was not needed. It's not like it even served a purpose. It just felt like something to kill time. The second scene is Broken Guy and Simmons just singing as a duet. And it was funny at first, but then it just kept dragging the joke on and on and on. Granted, this was the most tolerable joke, but still. Rule of 3, Logan. Rule of 3. Please learn to do the rule of 3. It might just save your life. Trust me, I'm fine with some comedy to break up the tension and the suspense. Which, don't get me wrong, this movie lacks any type of suspense. But the abundance of comedy is really pushing it. And the other lowest points in the movie was the scene where The other lowest point of the scene when Mario gets kidnapped and has to make the ransom. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be a serious moment, and I'm supposed to care about Marvin. I'm supposed to care about Mario. I'm supposed to care about Mario in the scene, and I do. He first calls Jeffy, to which he says it's a tech support guy, And then he calls Rosalina, to which, of course, she accuses him of cheating. You letting yourself getting passed around like a hacky sack by all the guys of the world. She belonged to the entire Andromeda galaxy. These scenes, to me at least, they break the immersion and the pacing of the video. Don't get me wrong, all these scenes slow down the movie, but I wouldn't be so mad about it. But the fact that they're back to back to back with this it's like this 5 to 6 minute window of nothing happening, with the characters just talking. Meanwhile, Mario is kidnapped. Don't get me wrong, a little bit of comedy is harmful because in a serious story like this, it needs more comedy. But too much comedy in an epic and serious story like this breaks the tension. And lastly, the supposed big twist of the movie was revealed. Either you're fine with these two twists, although I did think one of them wasn't going to happen and it felt pointless. Though don't get me wrong, both of them are pointless in their own way. Let's start with the very ending surprise of course, Jeffy wasn't dead. First time watching this, I had a little bit of something. First time watching this, I felt a little bit of something. I felt hope. I felt a small light in the sea of blackness and absurd advanced darkness that maybe Jeffy would be killed off. You know, maybe it would be a good send-off. But then I decided the reason I felt something in that moment was just more of the fact that I was shocked that they actually blew Van up in this episode. I already knew he was gonna be alive. So yeah, I didn't see the van blowing up coming, but that being said, I feel like this supposed sad moment was needlessly dragged on with the sad music because I already knew Jeffy was going to reappear out of the impossible odds anyway. So that twist I saw coming from a mile away. But what I didn't see coming was the reveal that his dad was alive the whole time. Fuck anyone. You know what? Forget anyone who hasn't seen the remake, which again, I haven't. So first time watching, I was a bit disappointed, first time watching, I was going on in my head for like 2 minutes. I was thinking, what? I thought he died from a gunshot to the head. Why did they change it to like him falling on the canvas? Until I realized you have to watch the remake to get the joke. Which again, what's the point of watching the remake? But the death in the movie was him falling off a cliff and splattering on the canvas. I think this twist is not only a bad twist, but one that is even more confusing when you haven't seen the remake, which I haven't. It is the same as the original, just less toned down and changing the jokes a bit. But that's not the huge problem. The huge problem is that this is a slap in the face to the previous established lore. I'm gonna ignore the remake and discuss what I've and the older fans know. The last 5 years built up the premise of Mario finally getting his inheritance. And countless episodes made references or self-awareness to this. So the fact this movie pulls off the twist of, oh never mind, he isn't dead. The arc of Nancy and the premise of the movie was pointless. The 5-year build-up of Jeffy getting the money was pointless, and everything was just pointless. It may seem like I'm being overly serious, but when I find things that either breaks the movie or things that can damage it, I think Logan should easily rewrote the plot holes or moments. And my prediction I made a few months ago was the opposite of Jeffy getting the money and spending it out on dumb stuff. But no, this is even worse than what I thought my prediction was going to be. Who knew this one cop-out affects the movie, the series as a whole, and the entire lore as a whole? It makes Jeffy's parents pointless, it made the build-up to this moment pointless, and it just made this entire movie pointless. Well, I'm frustrated now. Get me something to snack down, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.